everyone, welcome back. Today is my plant maintenance day, so I'm going to be watering and fertilising the plants, seeing if I need to do any pruning, and I'll also show you how my caladiums are doing. I thought I'd take you along with me, and I'm going to start off with the plants in the kitchen. So this is the fertiliser that I've been using for years and years, liquid baby bio. And the instructions are on the back. It says add 5 to 10 drops to half a litre, 1 pint of water every time you water, or mix half a capful in 1 litre and feed every 2 weeks. And it says to use when the plants are actively growing. But because my plants have all been growing throughout the winter, I've still been fertilising them, but I've just been diluting it a bit more. So I've just been adding about 5 drops to my watering can and fertilising them every month or so during the winter. But now it's spring, I'm going to be fertilising them every 2 to 3 weeks. But I'm still quite cautious with the fertiliser, and I usually do dilute it a little bit more than what it says on the back. I also always use room temperature filtered water whenever I'm watering my plants. Excuse my watering can, it's super old, but it does the job. So today I'm just going to be adding about 6 drops. So with my Pelia, I like to take it out of the pot and let the water drain all the way through. As you can see, it's grown quite a lot since I first got it, and there's some pups in there. So it's doing quite well, seems to be enjoying life on this east facing window. I usually would hold this over the sink and pour the water through, but because I'm filming, I'm just going to try and do it here. So for the rest of the plants, I'm just going to give them a little bit of water. I do saturate them a bit more in the summer, but because it's still early spring, I won't be giving them quite as much. I'm tempted to put this jewel orchid back into my biOrb terrarium because I'm actually going to be rescaping it next week, but I haven't decided yet. It's obviously not getting enough humidity here because it's curling its leaves, but it still seems okay. My Ace of Spades has got a new leaf. Anthuriums generally like to stay a little bit more moist than philodendrons. This begonia always likes a good drink, so I do give it a bit more. It's an actual beast now. There's a new leaf here on my stingray. And then here we have a drama queen, my croton. I actually usually water this twice a week, even in the winter, because as you can see, it will flop right down when it's thirsty. So I'm going to give this one a good drink. This one I water probably every other week, so that one's not going to get a drink today. My vanilla orchid is also loving life. As you can see, my gloriosum looks a bit floppy. This is the oldest leaf, and usually when this leaf goes floppy, I know that it's time to water it. It's always the oldest leaf that does it, none of the other ones. And it's also just got this brand new leaf. Another new leaf here. My Spanish moss has been doing okay. I usually give this a mist every day or every other day, and so far so good. My queen is looking so beautiful, and still no crispy bits, which I'm really surprised at because these can be a bit fussy. If you're wondering what this twig is, I was using it as a support. I thought it looked a bit more interesting than just having a bamboo pole. Another one that goes a bit floppy when it needs a drink, although I do feel like this old leaf might be dying back. And there's a new one on the way. I did turn off my humidifier for the video because the room was getting a little bit misty. So I'm trying to grow a couple of Begonia amphioxus outside of my terrarium just to see what happens. These generally prefer a very warm and humid environment, but I thought if I set it on top of the humidifier it might be okay. Beautiful plant. So I'll keep you updated on this one. I have actually removed a small plant off the top of my humidifier that I am saving for my birthday plant haul. So no one's seen it yet, and it's a plant that's been on my wish list for, gosh, a number of years. So it's quite exciting. This is another one of my birthday haul plants, but I've already shown you this one. And there's a new leaf coming, which is super exciting because I've heard that these are really slow growing in the UK. And sometimes they don't produce a leaf for maybe 6 months and sometimes even 12 months. So I was quite shocked that this popped up. One of the older leaves looks to be yellowing a little bit now, so it might drop that one, but I'm really excited to see if this leaf will be bigger than this one here, hopefully. And then we've got Big Mel here at the back. And then up here in the corner, I've got my teeny tiny orchid, which seems to be doing okay. A couple of leaves have died off, but then it has actually produced a new leaf. It's a bit hard to show you because it's so small. So I think it's happy, but I've heard these can be a little bit fussy. I really hope it's happy enough to flower, as the flowers look amazing. They are teeny tiny. I think they're red. But that's something I'm really looking forward to. I already gave this one a water yesterday, so that one's all good. It's a beautiful day today, although it's quite chilly out there, it's quite deceiving. My happy leaf is looking rather happy. And my black velvet looks to be loving life at the moment. I think it's just produced 3 or 4 new leaves. This is one of the new leaves, this big one. Sorry, it's a little bit tricky trying to water and film at the same time. So if the camera's a bit wobbly, I do apologise. If anyone's interested in what soil mix I use and you don't know already, I'll link my soil mix video below for you, and you can tailor it to any plant. I think the cacti are okay. I'm sure I gave them a tiny bit of water last week. Again, I think the Hoya is okay. Usually if the leaves feel a little bit wrinkly or soft, it means it needs a water, and they feel quite firm. So I think I might end up putting this back under my Spider Farmer grow light upstairs, because since I moved it down here, it's produced this crappy looking leaf. And I only put it here because it was getting sun in the afternoon and I thought it would like it, but obviously compared to the old leaves, this one looks a bit rubbish, so I think I might put it back upstairs. Oh wow, my dramatic oxalis. Again, this one I water twice a week sometimes. It's quite a thirsty plant. Can't really overwater this one, from my experience anyway. And sometimes I put this outside in the garden in the summer. These will all perk back up again later on, and it has started producing some new growth as well. I do need to trim off some of the old stems like this here. Sometimes you can just pull them out like that. I'm not going to be watering all the plants with you because, as you can imagine, it takes me quite a while. I usually change the water in this little bowl around once a week, just to keep the cuttings nice and happy. There's already some roots growing. Don't know if you can see. Got another new leaf coming up on my silver dragon. The melanochrysum is getting a new leaf. And my Florida Beauty never stops growing. So it just produced this new leaf here. And I'm sure it won't be long before another one pops out. Can you believe this was a 2-leaf cutting last year? And a 2-leaf cutting with barely any variegation. This was one of the original leaves here. The other one's at the back. I still need to put some cuttings into my Coir ceramics parrot, and then we've got another begonia amphioxus there. My Picton tricolour's doing really well. I also need to wipe down some of the leaves because they're a little bit dusty, or they've got residue on from my humidifier. So today I'll just be wiping them down with filtered water on kitchen roll, but sometimes I do use a neem oil mix, and I made a video on that, on how I shine my leaves. I'll shine my leaves with the neem oil mix every kind of 1 to 3 months. I actually thought I was doing it every month, which is what I mentioned on my leaf shine video, but when I checked my diary it was kind of more like every 2 to 3 months, and then in between those times I'll just wipe the leaves down with filtered water on kitchen roll. It's actually very difficult to wipe down the leaves whilst I'm filming, but all I'm doing is spraying some filtered water on some kitchen roll and then just literally wiping the leaves. And I need to do this one because he's looking a little bit dusty. So I've just wiped down this leaf here, and it's good practice just to wipe down the leaves now and again, just to make sure that your plant can photosynthesize properly. And I apologise for Marvin screaming in the background. He is out and about, but he's obviously trying to get my attention. Another dust-free leaf. I need to bring this plant down and do all of them, but the leaves look so much nicer once you've given them a wipe. So generally I'll wipe down the leaves every month or so with filtered water on kitchen roll, and I switch that up now and again for the neem oil mix. So I just wanted to give you a quick update on the caladiums in my office. And these have been growing under my Spider Farmer grow light, and I think I showed you them about 2 weeks ago, and they didn't have any leaves a couple of weeks ago, but soon after I filmed they started popping up. They're doing really well. So the Florida Moonlight was the first one to come up, and no sign yet from Big Red. Oh, actually, if you look closely, you can just see a tiny growth point there. Good. He's usually the last one to come up actually out of all of them. And then we've got the Fanny Munson there. Strawberry Star. Again, you can just see a tiny growth point there. And nothing yet from the Elise. So as you can see, I've removed the glass shelf to give the caladiums some room to grow, and on this shelf I had a few things growing like this variegated monstera, which I might actually pot up today. I've got my butterfly wing plant in here, and then I've got some cupria bulbs in here. They're all doing well. So these are all on a heat mat here. For anyone interested in what setting I've got my Spider Farmer grow light on, it's currently on number 40. So generally in the winter I'll turn this up a bit to make it a bit brighter, but I find at this time of year 40 is a perfect setting for it. I'll link my grow light in the description box for you. But everything's been growing very happily underneath here. Also got a little cupria here, and my veitchii looks to be coming back to life again. So I'm going to go ahead and repot my variegated monstera. Let's take a look at the roots. So I've been growing this in moss and perlite. Wow, those roots are pretty good. Amazing really, isn't it? It was just literally a stick. So I don't really want to disturb the roots too much. I might try and remove this top layer of moss. As I mentioned earlier, I'll put my soil mix video below in the description box for you. I'm just tapping it so that all the gaps get filled with the soil mix. Beautiful. I'll find a nice ceramic pot for this one later. Look at how beautiful that leaf is. This is the top cutting of the plant. And again, this one's got a really beautiful white leaf. And it produced this leaf 4 months ago and there's still no crispy bits on it, so it's doing really well, although it is slightly curly, but it's still perfect. With my air plants, I'll either take them out a couple of times a week and give them a mist with my spray bottle and then put them back in, or I will take them out once a week and soak them in filtered water for about an hour or so. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, just pop them below in the comments. Now I need to go around and finish watering the plants and wiping down some leaves. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all soon.